Final Fantasy 16. We were getting into some really good parts last night. So Joshua's finally back. We got a new ability. I don't know, we got a lot of cool stuff going on in this game right now. So I probably only got about 5 hours left of this game. So yeah, I'm getting through it. I mean, I could finish it in this stream if I really wanted to, but I don't know if we'll be going for 5 hours. However, it might go for 2 to 3 hours, depending how I feel. So yeah, the next stream after this will probably be the end of the game. But this stream could also be the end of the game, I'm not too sure the exact details of the matter. Okay, let's go. So yeah, we're here in our little house, wall of memories, and I don't really care about that. I'm not gonna lie. I want to remember the old parts of this game. I'll just replay the game. But I don't think I'll be replaying this game because it's so long. I'll replay this game in a couple years, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to be replaying this game in 2025. Or wait, there's a new game plus feature. Maybe I will replay this game in 2025 because there's a new game plus feature. So you can keep all your levels and replay the game.
Otto, how fares the realm? The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out at mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit. And Gav? He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheme until those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
There's talk of these skies driving men mad. Most of the time.
They still want me to continue with the story.
It is our job to calm things down. So don't you go spread.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Well, look at all the blight.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces. Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, While the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire, Dalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fan, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off-storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Oh. Oh god, bro. Oh my god, we destroyed the entire world pretty much. Crystal gone. Crystal gone. Crystal gone. Crystal gone. Then, soon to be, crystal gone. Wow, it's the last crystal. It doesn't even shine very bright. Wow. Harpocrates. That's who we need to speak to. Okay, the old man. Let's go talk to the old man.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Well, we don't really want a storm in this place. Look at all the water that would get through.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? But Ultima was one of the gods responsible.
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
I'm just ordering more Church's chicken though. Church's chicken's good. So good. Bro, shit's crazy. A buddy of mine won $500,000 last night gambling. It's actually crazy. I wouldn't say a buddy, he was a buddy in high school. I used to buy drugs off him and shit. But he won $500,000 last night gambling. Holy shit, bro. I want to win $500,000 gambling. But I'm not gonna gamble because that shit's dumb. I mean, that guy started with 80,000. What are the chances? What are the odds? I'd say less than 10%. I mean, there's like a 90% chance you lose everything and a 10% chance that you make 500,000. I ain't risking 80,000 for a 10% chance to win 500,000 and 90% chance to lose all of my money. Hell no.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Kashik at her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
Aid Martha's Rest in its dilemma. Aid Northreach in its dilemma. Aid Dalimil in its dilemma. Alright, let's go aid them in their dilemmas. They got a whole lot of dilemmas going on, don't they? Well, Martha's Rest has always been the kindest to us, so I guess we'll help them out first. Whoa.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue, and there's no telling when they might be back. You'd best keep that sword handy, Sid.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
But all our beds are taken.
Damn. That's crazy.
Martha. It's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Kashik. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered. What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Okay.
Do you think there were as many as Martha says?
More.
You're alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah, these people struggle to take out those Akashic, or whatever they're called. Well, to us, they're pretty easy.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Them not. Not a chance.
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first.
That attack is awesome! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, come on. Got him. Hell yeah.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. We were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, ma'am. We will be safe. We will.
Take much more of this.
Okay, let's go to the lift. Hold on, I'm gonna check the crystal for the well. I know they have a well over here. I want to see if it really did dry up. Oh, yep. Yeah, it looks like it's just a rock in there now. It's not a crystal no more. No, it's still a crystal, but it doesn't got any magic. Yeah, that used to drip a bunch of water.
Let me go with you. I can fight.
You can get back inside and bolt the door, is what you can do.
Good thinking, man. Good thinking. We don't need the kids on the battlefield. They'll only slow us down.
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
So Wade.
Lord Rossfield, if you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them, but we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
That's one of those turtle things, but it's Akashic.
We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's do our duty.
I don't really know how that ability works. It's kind of confusing. It's like you get wings, and then what do you do with them? Oh, Mega Flare? Like that? Whoa, okay, that's pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, good stuff.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Church's chicken is on the way. We got Church's chicken on the way. It's gonna be some good food. Damn, look at the lighting right now. And then we got some bad stuff going on.
Just patch me up as quick as you can and get me back out there. My brothers need me.
Green sheaves. Did you just bark? What was that? Don't you be barking. No!
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
We got the wild chocobos, the Akashic too. Got him.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we?
Oh, dodge, come on, get out of there. My apologies. Gotta take you out.
Nice try.
Where'd he go? Ah, shit. Got no health left. What are you gonna do now, bro? That's what you're gonna do? Oh, I see. Ooh. Almost got me. Oh, you just got me.
Too slow. Nice try.
Oh no, this again. Okay, finally. That guy was kind of tough. Only slightly. Still no driver for my church's chicken? Come on, I want some church's chicken. That's what I ordered.
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
The flames of war.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. Well, go on, then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy sheep. Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
Okay. Nice, I got a driver on the way too. My DoorDash should be here in like 20 minutes. Church's chicken! Alright, we aided Martha's rest in its dilemma. So we ain't gotta worry about that no more. Let's see if I can do some training down here though. All the enemies around here were easy. And now they're a bit harder. They got level boosts. They got all the boosts now. Yeah. Now look, that's a level 33 Akashic Hornet. Get him! Ooh, get him! Oh! Yeah, I got him. 64 ability points. Nice. That's what I'm aiming for. I need a lot of ability points now that I unlocked some new special abilities. Oops, this is gonna be way overpowered for this guy. Yeah, like I thought, way overpowered. Oh, it's kind of hard to aim this thing. It's hard to see, so it's hard to aim that laser beam. Alright, let's go to the next outpost. You are sorely mistaken, Your Highness. You can't do this to me. Oh. 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 That does not look like it was fun.
Poor bastard. Couldn't run because of the weight of his load. Still, better a branded than one of us.
Oh, come on, bro. You didn't gotta say that. Oh.
If you're wondering why Dalimil's in such a sorry state, you can blame the bandits. Them and the mercenaries who are guarding the gates. Though I can hardly fault them for running. Fighting would have meant death. Did for more than a few.
Oh, even all the shops got ransacked.
Shop? Why would anyone do such a thing?
Damn, this was a nice area. Now it's just kind of all trashed. I mean, the bakery doesn't look that bad. It looks like they just gotta clean up a little. But when it comes to the places that had merchandise, ooh. Yeah, see, look at this. There's no fixing that. They got all your shit in the sand.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Oh, yeah, see the carpets. Those are no longer new. You're not gonna be able to sell those. Oh, yeah. Some of the shops got it pretty tough. We're gonna look around and see what got destroyed. Oh, this is the guy that was saying he is generational.
Oh, my finest pieces. All that hard work. Gone.
Yeah, this is the guy that was saying he has generational antiques, and look, they're all broken now. Not really generational, was it, buddy? Everyone's depressed and sad.
We could fight, but what would it cost us?
It would cost you everything.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Even the weapon place got ransacked.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
That's a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Okay.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
Gosh darn traitor! How could you do this to me? Ah! Okay, let's continue.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Haven't we had enough?
Damn. This place used to look so nice, and now it's all just trashed. It's kind of sad. This place looked like paradise. Let's check on the water. I remember the water looked really nice. Okay, the water still looks good even without the sun.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. Perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own.
before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Okay. So we gotta recruit. We gotta help recruit them.
Hold on! I'll have my branded heal your hurts.
So they can still use magic without crystals. That's pretty cool.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own. Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe it actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Is he saying that Clive isn't a good liar? I think that's what he's saying. Jill is a better liar. We can't trust Jill, she's too good at lying. DoorDash is gonna be here soon. Torgal. Look, it's Torgal. That's Torgal right there. Torgal is my friend. Torgal is the best. We love Torgal. Okay, I'm gonna wait for my DoorDash to go here. Minecraft? Alright guys, check it out. We got more church's chicken again. I got the spicy chicken this time. I'll make a short. My next short, I'll rate this. I'll give it a rating. I already know how much I like church's chicken, but it's delicious. That's the spicy chicken right there. Mashed potatoes, orange Fanta, and a biscuit. Look at that biscuit. Alright guys, let's eat the church's chicken here. So, look how crispy it is. That's a 9 out of 10. Delicious.
might seem like it only matters to someone staring at a spreadsheet or a graph or a chart, but in fact that's reflected in the fact that our 2 million people are lined up at food banks because they can't afford food, and 80% of youth can't afford homes, and our quality of life and the things we can afford to provide our kids have fallen back so much.
Well,
There's a real life.
Stark and easily comprehensible statistic.
Yeah.
And if you work and you produce $80 worth of goods and services in an hour, compared to working and producing 50, obviously that's a substantial shortfall.
Yeah.
So, and is there a starker indicator of the economic disparity between the U.S. and Canada than that? Or do you think that's the primary statistic?
I mean, I think housing costs are another one. I mean, there was a study out just 10 days ago that has Toronto and Vancouver now by far the most unaffordable housing markets in North America. And so, housing costs are 50% higher in Toronto than they are in Chicago, even though Chicago workers make 50% more money. The same is true between Vancouver and Seattle. Seattle workers make way more than Vancouver workers, but housing is 60 or 70% more expensive in Vancouver. So on all of the measures,
by a lot.
Yes.
By a lot.
By a lot.
Yeah.
And we're paying more.
More by a lot.
Yeah.
Right, and most of that's transpired in the last 10 years.
Yes, and we're paying the difference by accumulating enormous quantities of debt. Our households are by far the most indebted in the G7. When you divide total household debt by GDP, we now have a bigger stock of household debt than our entire economy. We are more indebted as households than the Americans were right before the 2008 financial crisis. And so what we have as a model in Canada is we have artificial scarcity imposed by a very heavy and restrictive state, confiscatory state, that suppresses production. But in order to allow for consumption, we print money and borrow money and then flood the economy with that money.
Okay, so that's another problem. So that's the inflationary problem.
Yes.
Now the problem with inflation, there's many problems with inflation, but one of them is that it particularly punishes people who are thrifty and who save.
Yes.
Right. So inflation punishes the people who forego gratification to invest in the future.
That's right.
Right, so that's a very bad idea.
It's a horrible. Inflation is the single most immoral tax for so many reasons. One, it takes from savers and people who are trying to be responsible, thus making it impossible to be responsible, because if you refuse to play the inflation game of borrowing money to buy things you can't afford, someone else inevitably will, and you won't be able to afford anything. So you ultimately have to act responsibly. It's like Milton Friedman was asked, what would you do with your money in times of inflation? He said, spend it.
Right.
Like the first thing you want to do when inflation is out of control is to make sure you get rid of this thing that's losing its value. The second reason it's immoral is it takes from the poor, because the poorest people do not have the ability to buy inflation-proof assets like gold and real estate and fancy watches and art collections and fancy wines and things that go up with or even exceed inflation. So it's a very big wealth transfer from the poor and the working class to the very, very wealthy. A very small group of people actually get richer.
So the socialist policies that provide goods and services to Canadians, let's say, or denizens of other countries, by printing money, actually punish the poor brutally.
Oh, absolutely.
The consequence of the inflation that they generate.
Yes, I mean, all the socialist policies in practice redistribute from the working class to the super wealthy in practice. And I can prove that again and again and again. Well, in practice. In practice, all the redistribution that happens in these so-called socialist countries ultimately goes from the working class to the super wealthy. That is the reality.
Okay,
one last thing on inflation. The final reason why it's so immoral is nobody votes on it. The basic principle of our parliamentary system is the government can't tax what Parliament has not voted. to pay off their home 10 minutes from Parliament Hill in 7 years. Their grandchildren wouldn't be able to save up a down payment for that home in 15 years, and they will be university educated with all the advantages of having been here 2 decades. That is the consequence of the money supply growing vastly quicker than the stuff that money buys. What we have to do is stop growing money supply and start growing the stuff money buys. Right? Produce more energy, grow more food, build more homes. We have to unleash the free enterprise system to produce more stuff of value. This is where we have to remove the artificial scarcity that the government is imposing on the population. Let's incentivize our municipalities to grant the fastest building permits in the world to build homes.
Do you have a plan for that, in principle?
Yes, I mean, I'm going to say to the municipal governments, they either speed up permits, cut development charges, and free up land, or they will lose their federal infrastructure money. So they will have a powerful carrot and stick incentive to speed up home building.
And the percentage of a new house price that's a consequence of government taxation and regulation?
Well, in Vancouver, it's 60%.
60%. Now, does that include the land and the house?
Yes, that includes everything. So I'll tell you how they calculate it. CD Howe took the cost of building compare the cost of building a home to the cost of buying a home.
Mummy.
And he said, what's the gap between those two things? So they added up land, labor, profit for the developer, materials. They compared that to the sale price, and they found the gap was $1.2 million. So that's $1.2 million of extra cost above and beyond the materials, the labor, the land, and the profit for the developer. So where's that going? Well, the answer is development charges, sales taxes, land transfer taxes, the delays in getting the permit, time is money, consultants, lawyers, accountants, lobbyists, the developer has to hire in order to get the approval. That's, in other words, we're spending twice in Vancouver. We spend twice as much on bureaucrats than we do on all other things combined. More money goes to bureaucrats than goes to the carpenters, electricians, and plumbers who build the place. And to add insult to injury, those tradespeople who build homes, importantly, I mean, it is so what we need to slash the bureaucracy. And I'm going to say to mayors, you're not getting federal infrastructure money until you slash your development charges. We've got so much land here. We have the most affordable housing in the world. Kentucky, we have the most land. The government doesn't play the same goes for our resource sector. Why is it that we're still importing oil? We've got the world's third biggest supply. Why is it we can't export our natural gas overseas?
Germany and Japan, they asked.
Exactly.
Offering multi-decade contracts at spread prices.
Oh my god. What is with the combat system in this game? Seriously. Go for the biggest enemy first. That's who I'm trying to take out. Why does it keep going for the stupid small ones? See, look, this thing fucking keeps attacking me, but I can't fucking attack it because the combat system in this game sucks. Come on, stay on this guy. I don't care about the smaller ones. Come on. Oh Oh my god. This fucking thing's good at dodging too.
Nice try.
Wildlife has changed dramatically, much like in many large metro areas across the country, as the city's been required to adapt to the lasting challenges of the pandemic, mass immigration, and young
My pickaxe, I would. Don't get yourself worked up. You need rest.
So yeah, there's nothing necessarily wrong. I just wanted to show this as a new reality of what gets built in Canada as a result of the housing crisis.
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but...
It's just dwindling more and more by the year. Cost of construction is going up, labor costs go up, and so this is what we're left with, maximizing to the absolute, down to the unit, how much we can put onto a plot of land, essentially, and it's creating these communities here. These roads, man. The road? Like, this is a main road in this region. It's insane. So one of the most shocking things is the fact that, like, a lot of these areas, there's really going to be that polarization of You know, a brand new building like this, which undoubtedly their rents are going to be up to probably $6,000-7,000 for a large 3-bedroom. And this is, of course, it's in an area that's trying to be gentrified for sure, but this is an area of the city that's definitely struggled a bit more over the years and has had a higher crime rate and stuff. So I understand that this is how areas and neighborhoods get gentrified, but it's really just that discrepancy and polarization.
I mean, it may still be possible to buy
the
something,
struggles of different people
and
in
we
Canada
may yet be allowed to keep it.
A lot more prevalent.
Yes,
it isn't
but
something that was as intense and
Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
Okay.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared. What if the bad men come back?
It's all right. We're all right now.
Alright. I'm gonna watch some Squid Game and play some Call of Duty Zombies. I'm rewatching Season 2 again. It's pretty good. Okay.